Hey guys, myderpinabox here. Wanted to bring you some T71 gameplay, the Tier 7 American light tank and the T57 line. Apologize in advance for the mouth breathing on the video here. I've got a little bit of a head cold, but I want to get the video out anyways. You can see I've got a 75% win rate in the tank, only 1700 damage per battle, but very annoying to the other team, and so that's what's actually helping me win despite the low damage. Alright, so this first battle here is on Fort Despair. Kind of a closed-in map, not ideal for a light tank like this, and not ideal for an autoloader, just because of your inability to run away from the enemy. But we make do with what we've got here. So this winds up being an ace, and there's no way I'm going to go into the town or into a shooting lane like we have on Heavy Alley, where C-Cap is. So I'm actually headed out here to the left. Wanting my team to come with me. If you look at the lineups, the other team has a heavy advantage as well as a TD. So I'm just going to push out here first to this little depression. You can sit right here on this hill, still shoot over it if somebody's over aggressive, but you can also still run away. I'll pause here for a couple seconds. At this point I'm pretty sure they're not here, but you don't ever want to run around the corner and see a couple tanks looking at you, especially when you don't have any cover and there's a TD spot. You're able to see this T29. You can see that here the first issue with the gun is it's a little bit troll, not great pen, wasn't a great aim on my part either. I decided to reload as I push around, thinking that they probably all pushed in, and I run into a guy that's loaded late here, so he's just starting out. Now it is actually a Tier 6 light tank. You can see there again, missed on the move. So with the autoloaders, your dispersion while you're on the move, and this applies to the French as well as this, dispersion while you're on the move isn't great, and the faster the tank and the more you're turning your turret, the more likely it is to fly off. So this guy's actually, now that he's awake, he's putting up a decent fight, but he realizes now that he's not going to win, so he tries to take off. You can see how quickly I can get shots in. The intershell reload within a clip is actually really good. And pop up here, I should be able to finish him off a low roll, which isn't great, but my team finally does show up. And now I've got a Comet that's come over here. I don't want to trade shots with him, so you can see I put two in. I'm just aiming right for the front center, hoping that even with a little bit of dispersion I can still pin the shot. He's not being very aggressive, which is good for me. If he would have managed to rush me, he probably could have killed me, and so I'm just going to shoot his track here. So again, shooting for drive wheels. Unfortunately, the first one didn't damage anything, but at least I held him there, and my team's going to come and swarm him now. I like to give positive reinforcement in the game. Hopefully keep the guys motivated, because I'm going to need them here. We've got a 2-to-1 base advantage, and everything's been spotted. So the unfortunate part here is we're about to lose a tank, as you just saw, one of our other top tier tanks, and our Tiger's getting swarmed. This video is before the Tiger got its buff. It was still a good tank, but not as amazing as it is now. And you can see that I pop out and everybody's looking at me. So I put two in as I'm backing up. I wouldn't even have minded missing that last shot, just had to get out of there because the last thing I need is a TD to HE me, which is one of the big problems you have in this tank if you're holding still. So I kind of fake to the inside and hope that they think I went that way. Pull around to the outside, and it worked out well. I got back shots on this TD here. I'm going to take him out. And as I'm doing that, this ARL follows me right around the corner. So I'm not sure if he was watching specifically for me with all the other action going on. I was a little surprised that he showed up, but he does not have the traverse to win this fight, especially when he's just trying to turn his turret. And you can see he's moving a little bit, but he's not turning his tank and his turret at the same time, so I'm staying just ahead of his gun. This is a thing that you have a lot in public games that you can use to your advantage, is players can't quite figure out how to use both hands at the same time. And so you can see I'm actually just backing around him in a circle and able to get most of the health off of him. So when we come to the results screen here, it didn't seem like I did all that much, although I was really active, but almost 3,300 damage. Moving to the team screen, not the rest of the team wasn't doing a whole lot either, other than following me around and at least taking a while to die. So that's one of the best ways to ace an autoloader, is to have your team stay alive but not do a lot of damage. The next map here is Mayan Ruins. This is a much more favorable map for this tank because it's so big. Unfortunately, I'm bottom tier. As I look at the lineups, there are no lights or mediums on red, so I'm definitely going left. I wouldn't go right in this tank probably anyways, but if there were some enemies that I thought I was going to be outnumbered, I might go to the middle and just try to spot. The right side on this map, I don't even like it in heavies, but especially in anything without really good armor, there's just no point because you're just in shooting lanes. I'm reasonably confident they're not going this way. There's nobody I know on the other side. Sometimes when you get good clans on the other side, even though the lineup looks like something they ought to go heavy alley, they'll convince their teams to come and meet the mediums or the lights, and that's never something you want to see. But since I don't recognize anyone here, I'm pretty confident, and I just kind of zoom up to see if I can spot them in case they are coming. Normally I would push straight through towards where the B cap is and sit on that hill, but because their lineup is so heavy and with those big TDs, I don't want to get spotted and deleted. I could be a one-shot for an ISU or something, so I decided to actually go back down and around. My team is engaged at this point, and I'm just checking the lineups again, so I know they've got one ISU. There's the AT. I actually was not expecting to find someone here. I was going to go up on that little hill and start shooting down the lane. This guy either loaded late or is lagging, or maybe both, and maybe it's just bad also. So you can see I've now shot him twice. You saw my first shot hit the dirt again, so the dispersion on this gun isn't great. But it is a fun tank, I will say that. So I'm hoping he's going to kind of keep driving. Sometimes with these really bad players, even once you've shot them, they'll just decide they want to get to where they were going and turn around and go. He did look like he was looking at me and coming back this way, and I want to help my medium in the middle with this AT. So you can see I bounced the first shot, really no prayer to hit it. Second shot I penned, third shot should have penned and didn't. Now this guy's chasing me, so you can see me hug the building line here, just to not give him a clear shooting lane. He doesn't seem to be a good player, and so I'm not going to give him the opportunity to get a lucky shot. You can see again I did not pen a shot I should have, that I actually hit where I was wanting to. And see how I just back up right here by this building just to keep that tiger from shooting me while I'm trying to reload. I want to make sure I help this mod 1 because I'm going to need the tank. Our heavies and our TDs are kind of at a stalemate. At this point, I'd love for our mod 1 to come over here, especially because we just went down another tank, and I know this tiger's still here. He's not good, but I can't have him sitting behind me either. And so I want to take him out, and especially with this slow traverse that he's got going on, there's no way he can hit me. I was thinking it might have been a bot, but you can see right there he expresses some frustration with not being able to hit me. And I bounce one, unfortunately. He backs into a corner, which is the right move, but because he's lagging, I decided to just charge back in front of him. Sometimes with heavy tanks or players that are inexperienced, you can actually pass right in front of them like that if you have nowhere else to go, and they're not quick enough to react to actually get a shot into you. And you can see me shooting drive wheel. The last shot, I think, is a ghost shot. I actually aimed that one where I wanted to. And so he's almost dead. I don't want to pull right around the corner, but I need to get rid of him because I need to get back to these other tanks. We're actually down 2-on-4. And you can see our T-34's displeasure with the light tanks not doing anything after I told them not to go that way, and he did anyways. So I'm still full health right now. I finally got rid of this guy. I've got an SU, and so at this point I really need to just go reestablish my camo. So that's what I'm trying to do, is head around here. My SU really had been playing pretty well, I think. He's got a couple kills, and you can see right there he gets a second kill, or third kill, so we're actually in great shape, 2-on-2. I feel from a skill perspective we can win this match. All I really need him to do is reload and just hang out, but he decides that it's YOLO time, so he actually decides to just go charging at the 2 top-tier tanks, which have been doing all the damage for red. It's a stupid move on his part. I can't get to him very quickly, but I am going to try. It's not my preference. I would have much rather gone back around through where the A cap is in Supremacy and tried to shoot him in the back. And I'm just looking for shots. I run into this column and unfortunately get spotted because I was actually going to go right up behind him, but you can see that I get this ISU's attention. So I decide to push forward, and again I'm going to try to just zoom around really quick on the 34 and get 3 shots in and run. And again, my SU decides not to take the opportunity to win. He decides to charge right back at them and takes a huge hit there. I told him, I'm trying to tell him to get back without typing. And as I come around the corner here, I get 1 shot into the ISU, really hoping that I can get him killed here and that my SU can hang on. He dies. And I come right around the corner here for the kill shot, and it does not pen, which sucks because then I take a big shot from that ISU. And then the guy who just tried to lose us the game wants to talk about that he's unimpressed with my pen. You can see I'm actually backing around this T34. That's how good the traverse is on this tank. Unfortunately, I hit a rock because I was trying to aim and should have been just focused on the traverse. And so I take a shot there for 450 that I really shouldn't have, and that was a mistake on my part. Now, still a winnable situation. This guy has a couple kills. He's been active. He's been chasing. You can see my SU is still upset with me. And so at this point, I've got to just reset camo and hope that he tries to do something dumb like cap the base or, just sits in the open. I can't run and lose contact because at this point I'm a one-shot for him. Really anything that pins will kill me. So I'm just using this bush, and actually there he is, and so that's perfect track shot, exactly what I was wanting to do for damage. Another one, and he's traversing, and I get a third one. So at this point, this is a winnable situation. But I can't pop back out because he is staring right at the bush where I was sitting. Even if I reestablish camo, I can't roll high enough to kill him. So if I pop back out and put one in him, and he gets a shot off, I'm dead. So I've got a minute left here, and I'm just going to wait it out a little bit. He decides to go back that way, which has surprised me a little bit, but actually works to my advantage, and I don't pen with that heat shot there. So I decide I want to show him that I'm going this way and hoping that he'll chase me. I'm waiting for camo to reset, and it should be right now. So I turn around back as he started to move that way, and I'm going to go back around and try to get behind him because he's not going to be able to traverse this turret quick enough. At this point, I could have gone left, and through that opening, I decided to go back to the right. And I hadn't been drinking, but I can't drive straight. And so as I come around the corner, I'm expecting to find him right here, and I don't. I take another look back down this way just because I didn't think he could get through the middle that quick to not be spotted. And I do hit on turbo here, but he's gone, and so I don't know what he did. I think he must have gone through the middle and up that ramp, and he must have moved a lot faster than I anticipated because I thought I would come right on the back there. You can see another 3K damage game, another ace, a very winnable situation had our SU not decided to run headlong into those two tanks. I go ahead and give him a provocative communication just because he was being annoying. The one thing is, here we are on Naval Frontier, but before we start in this battle, the biggest thing about these autoloaders is people that don't know how to play the game are going to be constantly whining at you. You're not contributing, you're not playing right. Frankly, if you were brawling with this tank, you would be doing it wrong. You will never win a brawl because of the clip and reload, so we're talking about trying to do burst damage here. Find somebody, shoot them 3 times, reestablish camo, or get around them. Go find somebody else to shoot 3 times, spot for your team. That's what we're doing here. So on Naval, I love to go to this bush, really in any fast heavy, a medium or a light, sometimes even the fast TDs. I come up here and just get these quick spots, and I go ahead and get some shots into these tanks as they're trying to go. So I told my team to go right. I'm hoping that they did. And you can see that Tiger actually turns pretty quick. A lot of times the second or third tanks through don't even pay attention because they haven't been getting shot. I don't really want to trade shots with him. In this case, their lights actually push through. That Type 62 push through. That's C4, obviously a known clan. And I was not really expecting him to be that aggressive. My team ought to be able to have shots on him, but I think they've all gone up the hill. I can't see them, but I think they're sitting on that hill that overlooks that area where they're probably taking shots back from red as they're trying to kill. So I decided to push around and try to turn it to our advantage. First shot I was trying to hit on the light. I think I bounced it off the back of that Tiger. So I'm just pulling around looking for shots. This guy's sitting in the middle. Can't pin the turret in the back, direct back with that shot, but I do get one in him. And so now I'm going to go up on this hill behind them and try to shoot down onto them. So we're losing this fight, and if you can kind of see the HP as I'm looking, we're not only are we losing, we're about to get rolled. So we're down 2 tanks. I got to get some shots in here. Trying to take out this ISU would be awesome if I could, and he gets just around the corner, and I hit the dirt with that shot even though it was fully aimed. So now we're down 4 tanks. I got another one of my teammates actually is in front of me, which is okay. And at this point I just decided that the only way we're going to win this is if I can get in there and take out some of those low health tanks. So I'm trying to look for shots. I don't have any, can't pen a defender from that far with APCR. And so I take one more shot here at this SP, finally get a pen, and we've fought back a little bit. We've got 2 kills, My two teammates are way too engaged, and so here we go. I can see they have 3 low health tanks. We're back to 3-4, which from 4-0 is good. I'm going to go for this dragon. So back to 4-4, that's great. I want to kill the dragon because it's the only thing that can catch me. So he's not looking at me, which is great. There's a full health tank there. That last kill shot hurt. He's pretty upset. I don't know who at this point, me or his team. And so I got one more shot on the tiger. I'm out of shells right there. I got to reload. So I got to get away from him. I don't want to be in between them. He misses there, so you can see me traverse out, put a shot in, and then get right back behind the hill. And there's the great reload of the tiger, especially after the buff. It's not a tank that you want to be anywhere near, especially in an autoloader like this. So you can see I got lucky. He missed one, he tracked me with one, and he finally pens one. So at this point, I'm just getting out of there. And this 62 really does me a huge favor here by telling them to cap, because if they charge me, I'm going to actually have to probably fight them or run or try to evade one while shooting the other. If they cap, I know exactly where they are. So with a numbers advantage, sitting on cap with 3.5 minutes left is just really not that smart. And so I'm just going to be patient here. You can see now my team is engaging a little bit in a war of words with this guy, which is a liberty they have when everyone's dead. You can talk all you want. So here's the tiger. He's really not shown anything to be a good player, or I wouldn't have even made it this far. So I go ahead and reset cap there. He does get out of the way at least, so that means he recognizes where I am. And just in case I was spotted, I show him that I'm going back down the hill. But I have no intention of going anywhere near them at this point. I got to see if I can kill one of the tanks. That defender or the other heavy, I can't remember what it is. I think it's a defender, is at full health. And there's no way I'm going to win this fight up close and personal. So I'm just trying to be as annoying as I can and try to bait him into a mistake. And you can see I got superior view range, obviously, in a light tank. Here's this poor tiger again. I don't know how that shot didn't pen. So again, I got 2 out of 3 fully aimed shots into the side. And again, just messing with these guys because they don't seem to be very good. So I'm showing them that I'm coming down the hill, reset camo. I'm going to go right back to the same spot because they're both sitting in the open. Literally the exact same spot. There they are. I want to kill that tiger. I want to make sure it aimed. I'm not spotted, so I want to go ahead and get rid of him. And right there I do get spotted, so I roll back behind this hill. My team at this point really wants me to stay alive because of how much this dragon's complaining. And I know I got to get a reset on him before he moves out of the way. So right there I reset cap. And at this point, with 1.5 minutes left, it's going to be tough for them to cap out. They can still do it because there's 2 tanks on base. 90 seconds. So I do need one more reset. The defender at least gets behind the wall. And I got to try to figure out where that tiger is. And he actually decides to charge me. You can see the gun depression over the side isn't great, so I almost wound up taking a shot there that I didn't need to. But at this point, there's no way they can win the game. So even if he caps all the way to the end, if he would have stayed on it, he would have got to 89. At this point, I'm going to try to win the game, but I'm going to make sure I don't lose the game. If you watch my T74 video, you know I'm not real big on draws because it's just the same as a loss. But at the same point in time, when people are butthurt like this guy is, I'd rather have a draw so that either one of us gets a win. Since this guy's still sitting on cap, I'm just going to move around to this backside because I know he's hiding from me, thinking I'm up there. I don't spot him yet, and so I'm going to go up to this bush. And I know he's there, so waiting for my extra view to kick in from holding still. I'm spotted, but he's not very good. So he finally sees where I am. I get all 3 of them into him at this point. 9 seconds left. Just not going to risk it. And I do let the C4 guy know. So, again, not a win. So you saw 2 draws on here, both aces. Doing the most that I possibly can to try to win these games, but at the same point in time, I'm sorry, this one wasn't an ace, but at the same point in time, you know, a team has to contribute. These are team-dependent tanks.